is Cerebro 2-time with our new friend, Mr. Cage. If you missed our full balanced review of the changes, they are processing on YouTube now. They'll be ready to publish here in a minute. It's invisible what I've been doing in this deck. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I present to you the Cerebro experience. I've played a lot of this deck. I played this deck to infinite a bunch of seasons in a row. This is the Cerebro experience. My God, YouTube currently says it's gonna take 43 minutes to process my 8-minute video. Are you kidding me? Hey, Ash, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Do I use the "this content is for kids" checkmark on YouTube? No, my content is not for fucking children, chat. In fact, we explicitly make sure we put swear words in because this is not content for children. If you check the "this content is for children" box on YouTube, it actually hurts your monetization. So you really don't want to do that. Hey, Devil, thanks for thanks for the 34 months. Welcome back. Okay, we're actually being fucking trolled by Benbren. Just no cap, full on being trolled. I'm storming Asteroid M. They're gonna play Galactus into the Plundercast slot 6 and win the game. All right, hold on. The balance video is up, chat. Let's pin that. All right, chat, there's 2,700 people here. I believe in your ability to click on the YouTube link and press the like button. Please and thank you. Engagement for the engagement gods. For fuck's sake. Alright, I'm gonna play Daredevil in the middle, and we're gonna draw Storm next turn. I believe. That's fine. I'm gonna turn Cerebro into a Hulk. I felt bad that some of the Hollywood writers were out of a job chat, so I hired some of them to write the comedy for the stream for the next few weeks. What deck are they, chat? This is Nimrod Galactus, yeah. I'm leaving.
Escaped.
Nimrod Destroyer. Okay, come on. Come on. It's just like, it actually isn't real life at this point, right? We've only been playing this deck for 7 minutes, and we've been hosed by locations 400 times. Alright, sorry, opponent. Oh, it's another Galactus deck. Oh, as a recube.
Enough said, Bob.
Alright. Well, you can't beat Galactus and Plunder Castle, so.
Escaped.
We'll take a 30-second breather to hopefully wait for them to queue back up and to make someone else's life miserable before we continue trying to win against locations. While we're taking 30 seconds, I only see 221 thumbs up, chat. The balance review, you don't even have to rewatch it. You just click in and click the thumbs up button. How come Galactus players, Cerebro 2 is a PvE experience? It really is. It really, really is. This is the game, chat. This is where it all turns around. Onslaught Citadel is a beneficial location for us. Almost feels like cheating. You should snap. This is the one. Even have Invisible Woman to protect here. We'll press the button. We're not gonna draw Cerebro. I mean, we could hit Blue Marvel too. One of the reasons why this deck is good, because you're not just a Cerebro deck, you also have Blue Marvel.
Wind aid my hand.
I guess Hellfire Club's a little annoying. I think I want to just do this. Hey, Snapshot Superhero, thanks for the 5 months, appreciate it. They're explicitly throwing priority. That's fine, I have Invisible Woman. She saves lives, chat. Ah, it's probably not enough to win the left, huh? Oh, Cerebro and Blue Marvel in the bottom 3 cards of the deck. Big rip. Big rip. Does this win the game? I believe. I said this was the one, chat. I said this was when we were turning it around. Hobgoblin's gonna win the game. I would like to dedicate this W to all the haters that never believed in me. When I say this is the game, I mean this is the game. Onslaught Citadel was the MVP, but not for the reason you thought it was. Okay. Okay. There's a good lad. I think this is a play Cerebro this turn in case Mystique comes into play off of Sakaar, right? And honestly, I think I'm snapping our hands pretty good. Oh, you know, maybe I should play Cerebro in one of these locations so I'm not putting both of them into the same spot to get enchantress. Yeah. Yeah, I should have spread this out. But I played to this out appropriately. But I done messed up the positioning on the Cerebro. If 6 energy this turn with Psylocke. Maybe I'm supposed to... Oh, sorry, they have 5 energy this turn with Psylocke. Counting is hard. Yeah, looks like she not. They think means I want a Hobgoblin, right? I think they're probably passing. So we go to 24 in the middle, and we'll go to 12 on the right. Well, that's not enough to beat Infinite, though, huh? That's enough to beat She-Hulk. Alright. Alright. The opponent's deck's not an Enchantress deck. We don't gotta play around Enchantress here. I should have split these earlier like I was talking about to play around that earlier, but... At the end here, once we see what their deck is, it's no longer a concern. I missed why you're back on Invisible Woman over Goose. Yeah, because Enchantress is in a lot of decks that can get around Goose. A lot of Enchantress decks are Zabu and Serenex at the moment. Agatha is not playing Agatha, believe it or not. They're a liar. Exclamation point deck in chat will get you the deck that we are currently playing. I know that this play looks weird, but we have to make this because they're Galactus again.
Wind, aid my hand.
I want to play Blue Marvel this turn, so that way we can Mystique Blue Marvel next turn. Cerebro, also a good draw, obviously. This Twitch stream, pre-recorded, etc., etc. So I don't have that many stats on the left side here. We're gonna go up to how much in the middle, though? We'll get +5 there. We're actually 1 behind in the middle if they play something there, but I think we're good.
Victory.
But I'd rather just play Cage and Iceman to have a better chance to win the left, maybe? So Cage and Iceman are... will put me to 12 on the left. Maybe that's better. If I'm losing the center regardless. Yeah, if I'm losing the center regardless, I should play Iceman and Cage left. That's a good call out. Hop, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. We need to just have a decent enough run with this deck to make it to infinite, chat, so I can post tomorrow's video with the title Luke Cage Cerebro 2 takes me to infinite. The technically correct clickbait is the best clickbait. You buy Stature or save for High Evolutionary? Obviously, we haven't played with High Evolutionary yet, but I would be surprised if Stature was more playable than High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary looks like it'll have potential to go in a lot of different decks. I think we're on the Stormer bust plan for over here. We could also just find a Blue Marvel potentially, but Dream Dimension makes that awkward. I think Teenage Warhead is worth 6,000 tokens, so I think she's quite bad. I have a full updated tier list for Series 4 and 5 cards here. Jay Fisher, I have done the exclamation point deck command for you twice now, since you started looking for codes. Click on the untapped link in chat for the love of God. We're trying to help you. Please drink the water. It's right there above you. You don't even have to type it again yourself. The ugg.link from the untapped GG bot. Slide 32. Does High Evolutionary's text activate at the start of the game, or when you play him? At the start of the game, he changes the cards just by existing in your deck. Balance review, what did they nerf now? They buffed 3 cards. They nerfed nothing. The purpose of the weekly updates is to give us constantly new things to play with, which will typically be buffs. An appropriate place the Discord to ask for shop advice. Deck building or the general step channel are both fine guilds.
Snap.
Yeah, 2 rocks in my hand, so I'm gonna do the Ben Brood and snap them here. We also have Hobgoblin into Superflow, which is not nothing, and Brood into Danger Room. When I had previously played Hazmat in Cerebro 2, I did not like it. You basically just can't play Hazmat unless you draw Loop Cage, which makes it pretty restrictive and inconsistent. Get that! A sweet variant for an unplayable card. Is that my first Angel variant, chat? It is, oh, my second. I have a chibi. What changes could they do for Angel? Angel and M'Baku should both jump into play from your hand. There's no reason they should only jump into play from your deck. I'd like to give a special shout out to the 491 of you that clicked into the balanced review video and clicked the like button. I appreciate you significantly more than the approximately 2,100 other people here that didn't do that. I press the button here. None of these locations are bad for us. I've got Cerebro and Mystique. I've got Sinister and Brood. Let's do it. Time to dislike the video. Joke's on you. Disliking is still a form of engagement, and that's all YouTube cares about. So yes, please go press the dislike button if you're into that. Just click buttons. So long as you're clicking buttons, YouTube is happy. You know, going for an MS in math, do you think that is more useful than just a BS at this point? I am not a good person to ask for opinions on things that apply to the real world. I play video games on the internet for people's entertainment. What do we think about Blue Marvel middle and then Brood Mr. Sinister left, right? This could also just be Blue Marvel middle and then like Brood Mr. Fantastic on the last turn. I'm gonna do that actually. All right, so with the Cerebros, my 3s, my 2s turn into 7s. What if we just do this and play for all 3? I like it. I like it. I'll play this in the middle to make a rodent or a lizard worse. Yeah, the rock's also +1 from the Blue Marvel. All right, so unless something crazy happens in the middle, we're winning left and right. Wow, play the rock in the middle, they said. It's a free point, they said. Never listen to Twitch chat, Twitch chat. Solid 4-cuber. Do I have enough Mr. Sinister boosters to go for inked? I'm feeling a little twitchy, chat. Do we make bad choices? 1, 2, 3, 180 boosters splits both of these. Should we make bad choices, chat? You've already split 2 cards today. What's one more? That's true, you know. I'm just like looking at this Mr. Sinister next to all my other beautiful splits, and it's just like, what are you doing with yourself, bud? Yeah, I want this one to have the better split on it. So we'll split the chibi first because it's the one I don't use. Because again, when you're counting towards your chances to get the better splits, the inks and the gold, it counts all of your splits on all of your variants. Did you roll for Baizu? I played with Baizu and decided I didn't want him for my account, so I'm not pulling on this banner. Okay, so this one can't be anything fancy. We'll still upgrade the first level because. And then this one at 264. Hey, at 264, we can go twice actually, right? I only open my caches when I'm missing cards. I am currently collection complete. So I will open all of my reserves when Iron Lad gets released. There's a limit for buying credits for, yes, so you can save up to like 10 credit buyings. And we'll actually be out of credit buys here soon because we bought a bunch today. All right, chat, this could be inked. Let's do it. Whoo! 4th split ink, chat. And chat was telling me not to make bad decisions. Chat was telling me not to make bad decisions. Look at that. Running hot. Now, look at how gorgeous this deck is. We're getting there. We're getting there. We need some more splits on the Brood. This technically has a gold background, but I was trying for inked on my blue Marvel, and he just refuses to ink for me. Just so many blue Marvels and no ink. Yeah, we've got a few Fister splits too with no ink or gold yet. This is actually a good deck to be playing for me hunting boosters. I want splits on a lot of these cards still. Hey, Jim. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Series 3 complete. Will I get more tokens from caches or when series drop happen? And you get slightly more tokens when you're series 3 complete. I don't know the economics, but I would pay a pretty penny to instantly ink my decks. Yeah. It's not technically cheap even when you're playing for it, but you gotta play for it. So I kind of want to play this, but because Adelan is here, I think it's technically optimal to simply play more cards out of my hand. So that way I'm not shuffling as many back into my deck and I just leave in. It must be pretty bad. Is that Soda Poppin's friend Pluto? That's all I'm known as now. Well, you're my first partner manager to me. Right? Unless there's 2 Plutos at Twitch. Wicked, thanks for the 5 months of Prime. I appreciate it. Are there 2 Plutos at Twitch? All right, we don't want to play Mr. Sinister or Brood into the DC. The +3 would not be good. If there are, I've never met the other one. Fair. That's fine. We didn't want to play Brood over here anyways. Interesting that they didn't play Bucky into here. We're gonna make a point to spread out Cerebro and Mystique here. Being careful to play Cerebro second. Oh, we're getting Galactus again. I do have Hobgoblin though, but they could also just be Destroyering. Do I give up my second Cerebro to just jam Hobgoblin down the center? It's so much worse than the Destroyer. I guess I think I do Mystique, so that way the Hobgoblin's a surprise. And then this soaks one this, and then this soaks one this turn, and then it soaks another one next turn, so it's also 2 power. Well, so people are like, I feel like this is Destroyer and not Galactus. That's why the deck is good, right? Because we're just flipping a coin here. They could be Destroyer and then they win, or they could be Galactus and then they lose. That's why the Galactus decks are so good, is because they're not just you play a card and you beat them. They get to do both. Yeah, that is a $150 Nimrod chat and $100 Avatar. So the people are saying like Bucky means Destroyer. The deck is both. They have Destroyer in their deck and they have Galactus in their deck.
Victory.
And apparently they have neither in their hand. We take those. Or it was Galactus and they're enjoying the stream. The people asking about, are we going to play Orca today? I would like to try and get to Infinite with Cerebro 2. But if we get to Infinite with Cerebro 2 and get a highlights worth of games out of it, I will definitely play some Orca today. How many games do we have? I have 3 reasonable games for a highlight now. Usually I like 5 to 6. We're also a few cubes off of Infinite still. Or it could be like an old style Spectre Destroyer cell. Yeah, potentially. How's C2 been doing? What's going on, Pogo Stick? Thanks for the 3rd of a year. We hit some rough location variants to start this session. We're on the upswing. I could feel it. It's a Storm into Brood into Hobgoblin. I think Nightcrawler is very reasonable in this deck, but there's just so many cards that are good at the bottom end of your curve. Like, Nightcrawler is actually what we cut to fit Luke Cage in. Excuse me, what? What was that? Yeah, I guess we didn't look like a brood deck, and maybe they were expecting Darkhawk with the Daredevil Storm. I don't think they're Agatha. They're Thanos. I guess they could technically be Agatha still, but they're Thanos. They're gonna wave me. I think that's fine, right? I go Hobgoblin into Blue Marvel. Do we lose to Doctor Doom if they wave? Yeah, maybe. What if I do... It's a shame I can't do both of these and still Hobgoblin. Cerebro Sinister fills the location. This loses the breaker to Doctor Doom, right? This loses the breaker to most things. I'm only going to 16 in the middle. Yeah, Doom will be 8, but he takes the 3 from Wave, so it's kind of a wash. I mean, I'm just supposed to retreat. If we lose to any 6-drop, we're supposed to leave. Yeah, it's very possible that Sinister is worse than Nightcrawler here. Aren't we beating Doom left? No, they're +5 there. And they were down 4. Oh, yeah, I guess we would be up by 1, but they could have She-Hulk too. They could have She-Hulk too. So we lose to Doom She-Hulk. We lose to just Thanos. I definitely don't want to replace Iceman. Lowering the curve is potentially appealing. Do we want to build our own TVA? I think we do, yeah? Got her down. We're done here. Yeah, the one consideration to not building our own TVA is Storm or Fantastic is good into Rickety Bridge. I guess we could technically get Jeff the Shark tier. Yeah, they're the...
Opponent
Yeah, I think we actually have to leave. That was the wrong play. With Jeff the Shark, this is no longer the right play.
escaped.
With Jeff existing in the format and Mr. Fantastic being good into Rickety Bridge, I should have not stormed. How about Master Mold to help clog their hand? Master Mold is not a real disruptive card. It is not a card worth playing. Unless you are playing Ronin. Is Storm replaceable because of how much Jeff and Dr. Doom there is? No, you need Storm to mitigate location variance in this deck.
Opponent snapped.
Is Hazmat not worth in this deck? I think Hazmat is excellent in this deck. That's why I'm not playing her.
Wind, aid my hand.
Play Cerebro left to make the location pretty. That would be a quality cosmetic play. We want to do this way. If we draw a 5-drop next turn, we can play it. That's one that's gonna take some getting used to play around. That one is gonna take some getting used to play around. You can't play around everything. That's true, you can't always play around everything. But that card just, like, isn't even on the list of things I was thinking about. And it should definitely be on the list of things that I'm thinking about while I'm playing my games. So it's not that you need to try and beat everything all of the time. It's that I should be conscious of the cards that people play in the metagame and think about when I can beat them versus when I can't. Squirrel Girl Killmonger, they're Death Wave. Really, they're playing for the flooding. Was not expecting that. So Cerebro gets to power himself up here thanks to Stark Tower, which is nice. They're going to predictably wave. Unfortunately, because of Stark Tower, I can't play Brood and another card this turn. Oh, Brood into Sacred Timeline gives us another Cerebro. That's a good thought. It does, doesn't it?
All systems go.
Is 24 enough to win here? This play implies they have Doctor Doom. And going up to 24 here is pretty good in the face of Doctor Doom. Yeah, She-Hulk Death is 21. They blew up 4 things though, so we could get She-Hulk, Death, and Doctor Doom here, which we do lose to. Not if they play them like that though. Okay. Well, we should have lost this.
Victory.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they were afraid of another Brood mid. Would they have not had 16 with the Doctor Doom? This is definitely one of the harder decks to play in Marvel Snap. Largely because this deck is terrible. And if your deck is terrible, you have to play better in order to get percentage points out of it. Rewards tight play. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cage beats Soulstone is accurate. They have priority, so I can play this here and not get got. And then we can draw a, we can draw Cerebro next turn. The Lamaria flipping up here actually means they don't get another Lockjaw trigger, which is great for us. All right, yeah, let's do it. We'll be at 18 mid. 6 left and 18 right. So we'll be at 20 in the mid, actually. Man, that Lockjaw into nowhere really did a number on them. I do not think you should play Hazmat in this deck, chat. Hazmat is essentially unplayable in any game where you don't draw Luke Cage. And the other thing to consider if you want to put Hazmat in this deck, you have to cut one of the higher curve cards because you can't ever really play Hazmat on 2. So you can't cut one of your cheap cards that you're playing on curve. So the question then becomes, are you cutting Mr. Fantastic, Storm, or Hobgoblin? I don't really think you could cut any of those cards. The most cuttable of them is Mr. Fantastic. You need Storm for mitigating location variance. You need Hobgoblin for counterplay into Galactus. Yeah, and it's a card that'll be unplayable 25% of the time in a deck that's already not amazingly consistent. Hey, Cedrus, thanks for the 3 years. Good to have you hanging around still. Welcome back. We do this, right? Plays for all 3. If I snap, I think they leave, so we just do this to try and get one more cube out of them.
Victory.
Iceman is good to TVA. Yeah, accurate. Hey, Nickel, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. A little sad that we have our only 1 drop in hand already. So verdict's on Goose versus Invisible, and I'm fairly confident Invisible Woman is better than Goose right now. You want this slot to protect your Cerebros from enchantresses, and Invisible Woman is better at doing that. What's my opinion on Cerebro 3+? I think Cerebro 3 is the worst deck people always ask me to play. Its stats are like aggressively middling. Yeah, there's too much Zabu and Sarah for Goose to realistically protect your stuff from Enchantress. A particular deck that did most of the ladder climbing this season. The Stature Miles good stuff deck is the thing we've climbed the most with. Oh, I forgot we had a Cerebro 3 command. Win this! Cerebro into Mystique on the last turn, maybe? This ties us on 18 in the mid. Puts us to 8 over here. If I Cerebro left, chat, it takes the Cerebro bonus. Be very bad to Cerebro left. So they'll need to go +8 here and +9 here. Well, I guess we're only tying center. I don't expect them to have ways to get extra stats into the middle here. So we're tying the right now, and then we win the breaker, or no? How close are we? Oh my gosh, did we win by 1? We won it by 1. Whew. -5, 14 to 18. Total power is the breaker. They're up 4, we're up 5. Hey, Boneless Wing! Thank you for the 60 months. 5 years is no small duration. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Nickel, thanks for the quarter of a year as well. We're up to 87 boxes to open on Monday night. Is Moon Miles still bugged? He is, yeah. Hopefully that'll get fixed in the patch on the 16th. Why not move Jeff? They had already moved Jeff.
Opponent snapped.
I think our hand's fine. What's on Hazmat and Cerebro? I think it's incredibly inconsistent. You can't play it if you don't draw Luke Cage. Why wait until Monday? Because Monday is when they add a new card to the game. And I only open my boxes when I'm missing cards. It's a gorgeous Psylocke split. Monday night is Iron Lad's release. Am I playing these into, like, am I playing Invisible Woman into the center? So I can, like, play my stuff underneath to dodge, what's it called? Enchantress? I think I am, and just hoping to draw Cage. Yeah, Zabu makes Enchantress incredibly likely. Although Bast makes it less likely. Rogue is a potential concern. Hobgoblin into Baxter Building, looking reasonable potentially. I think this is good for us. Is there a video for Stature Miles on the channel? Not yet, it'll be up this weekend. We just played it on stream so far. I think we Blue Marvel to encourage them to, like, Rogue here. Yes, Invisible Woman is protection from Cerebro, from all of the copies of Enchantress that are running around. think we're staying. Like, it's kind of scary against Mr. Negative, because, like, they can have a bunch of stuff here, but our draw's not bad. We're gonna add what? We're gonna add 8, 10 to the left, and we're gonna add 6 on the right. I think trying to innovate with Mr. Negative makes a lot of sense because none of the established Mr. Negative lists have good metrics, so trying different things there. It's probably good. They're going up to 9. Are we tying Baxter Building? Did we just lose to our own fucking Cerebro off of the Daily Bugle? Absolutely brutal. Rip. Absolutely brutal. GG, Cincinnati. Yeah, Professor X is just, it's easily one of the best cards in Snap right now, right? Just super defining. It's so powerful. Maybe I was supposed to Blue Marvel, or maybe I was supposed to play multiple cards into there that turn. I should probably just assume that that card's in the output range of any Mr. Negative deck these days. And work to play around it when we can. The trouble with Professor X is you rarely get them for more than 2 cubes. I think Mr. Negative changes that dynamic, right? Because you become unpredictable in terms of how many stats you're actually going to be putting into play. Old Man S, thanks for the 7 months. Well, we're a Cerebro 3 deck now. Those snaps.
Wind, aid my hand.
Opponent snapped.
Inkthor Galactus.
Galactus.
I forgot that they were gonna get to Galactus this turn. Because of the peak. Oh, what a shit-tastic gameplay experience. I don't think any of the negative decks are good, Dilsky, and I don't think I have strong opinions on how you should build them. Do we snap them on that one? Might snap them on that one.
Oh, snap.
Wind, aid my hand.
good news is, if they're Thanos Galactus, they don't have a place to Galactus. I guess technically the order matters because they could enchantress us, but if Invisible Woman is surviving, the order doesn't matter. Technically, in the event that they enchantress us or rogue us this turn, we should play it in this order. There's no downside and there's only potential upside. Luke Cage has enough sweaters for everybody, chat. We ain't worried about Jotunheim. We'll pop up to 12 over there retroactively. Opponent is leaving.
Victory.
The general reminder for people recommending cards. Rather than saying, Jeff, why not play this other card? Instead say, Jeff, I think this other card is better than the cards you're currently playing, and this is why I feel that way. I prefer if you articulate your argument rather than expecting me to make the argument for or against for you. I'm snapping here before Mr. Fantastic flips up because their collector deck probably can't get into the sandbar, and I want to try and get them in for another cube before they see we'll have 2 power here. Any variants on your wish list? Yeah, I'm waiting for a Jeff variant, and I'm waiting for an Angela variant. There's also a number of unreleased variants I would be excited to get my hands on, but they're not in the game yet. Or not for sale yet. What, Angela? Chibi? No, I want the dummy mummy Angela. Hey, what's going on, Tim Blue? I might actually go see the Guardians movie. I've actually caught up on all the MCU stuff for the first time in a while. I wasn't when the last couple movies released. Could be a mirror here. I would prefer if Krakoa just didn't.
Wind, aid my hand.
Snap.
We'll snap the Cerebro draw. Ooh, this is cute. So they're re-flooding the flooding here, making it so they get another chance to play there. I think I'd rather Fister. Do they have them both? Or like, it's like, I think it's like 55% to have them both, thereabouts. Could be. They had neither. And the fact that this flipped up after all my stuff was in play made it just like not a big deal. I fully expect people to be shoving Hazmat into this archetype. I would be very surprised if it's good, but fully expect people to try it. Hazmat is a fan favorite, probably the #1 card people like to play even though it's not good. She's neat. Gonna go ahead and brood here. It's the most resource efficient. One thing that's interesting about Invisible Woman to note, chat. If you play Mystique under Invisible Woman, she counts whatever the last cards you play outside of Invisible Woman on turn 5. So you can actually curve Invisible Woman into Mystique in this deck, so long as you are ending on one of these somewhere else. I'm gonna play, normally with the Cerebro draw, I wouldn't commit more to the vault here, but because they played Omega Red there, I think I just need to put all my numbers out. They could win left and right here if they have like Killmonger and some other stuff. I think Hobgoblin is pretty generically alright in this deck. It lets you basically get more stats into a path. It has strong synergy with Daredevil. It's also an anti-Galactus card, but I think it has play and utility in a lot of other spots as well. It's also a card that just like gives you a decent amount of stats in worlds where you don't have Cerebro. Yeah, it's also good into locations. Luke Cage, incidentally, actually makes Hobgoblin a little bit worse, because Hobgoblin is, like, good into places like the negative zone and the other ones that give minuses, like the sewer. 7. Are we good? Yeah, we're gonna be more than 7 on the left here. With thanks to Blue Marble.
Victory.
Hazmat is literally unplayable if we don't draw Luke Cage, chat. I don't want to put a card in my deck that I can only play like half the time. Yes, infinite players only play other infinite players. There's definitely some concern if you're playing early in the season hitting infinite about having opponents. See if we can lock this Titania over to their side here. We're about to get fucking red skulled, aren't we? Shulk. Okay. Plus 16 over here puts us to 28. So I think that's probably good. We're beating Taskmaster plus most of their other things. Even if they red skulled here, we would have been +4 over here, and we'd still have been winning the right thanks to Blue Marble. Actually, just we're reading players regardless, right? Why do they Titania on 1? They're probably just less experienced with the card. A lot of people don't realize you're not supposed to play Titania on curve. Thanks everybody for hanging out today, by the way. My little Twitch ticker here says we've had almost 50 new followers. For anybody that's not familiar with me, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch and also make content over on YouTube. You can find me streaming Marvel Snap and other things here on the Twitch side Monday through Friday from about 9 a.m. Central till about 3, 4, or sometimes even 5 p.m. Central. I play a lot of different decks. Usually we change decks every 90 minutes to 2 hours or so. And the best of the decks that we play on stream get highlight videos 7 days a week over on the YouTube side. On that Hoaglandia Snap channel. Why don't I stream Genshin? Because viewer numbers for Genshin are not particularly strong. And Twitch.tv is my primary source of income, so I primarily stream games that have good metrics.
Opponent snapped.
My children keep insisting on this thing called food, so it's important that my job make money.
Wind, aid my hand.
Genshin is boring to view. I would bet you significant amounts of money that if I opened the Twitch stats for Genshin Impact, they are significantly higher than the current Twitch chat stats for Marvel Snap. My audience is just primarily card gamers, so there's not a ton of overlap between card gamers and Genshin enjoyers. Polstahono, thank you for the 2 buds. Welcome back. Think I just need to put my stats over here. Yeah, I played a bit of Honkai off stream. I've enjoyed it. It's a fun mobile game. Yeah, I also don't watch people play Genshin or Honkai. Though, can't say that I really blame people too much. We are very dead here.
Escaped.
Kids are fun, broski. Kind of, they're less fun at the start. Infants are basically just like blobs that you feed and change. I have perpetually more fun getting to hang out with my kids the older that they get, as they get to actually do things. Damn it, Bobby.
Opponent snapped.
Our deck's just not a very good Nexus deck, I believe.
Escaped.
Alright, I'm gonna kick the tires this one for a little bit, but we might have to switch off to something else for the final push to infinite. We're mostly just treading water. Tracker says we're up 18 cubes. It's not terrible, I guess. I think we're saving Orca for the post-infinite gameplay. Is my loose plan. I agree with that, 3Smith. Collector inside of bounce shells. I'm probably gonna wait on Collector in bounce until after. I'm probably gonna wait on Collector in bounce until after the what's it called? Kitty gets out of jail. Yeah, that one.
Opponent snapped.
Or probably just an enchantress deck. I think we're supposed to leave.
Escaped.
We played the... It's funny to me to say the Dara Shauna deck, because the Dara Shauna deck is literally just the stock Cerebro Hitmonkey deck with Shauna shoved into the top of it. So, As is often the case, if you take the stock good deck and you fuck it up by one bad card, it's still a stock good deck. Turns out still fine. I guess he added Storm too, right? If I recall, we played it for a little bit. I think he was playing Storm as well to leverage Shauna a little bit. But the core principle there still largely holds of. If you take a stock deck and change a couple of things, the GUI center there is still good and the same.
Wind, aid my hand.
Wow, kind of surprised they didn't Jubilee the Asgard. I think we just go Daredevil into Cerebro. Go Daredevil into Cerebro, and then we'll go Mystique into Mr. Sinister and have 18 and 18. Hey, not just fun. Thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. Not really concerned about Enchantress against the Lockjaw deck. I guess maybe I should be. Was a Balost? No, it's a gold background Kirby Crickle. Pretty sure this is human. I don't think I've seen a bot play the Lockjaw deck this season. Kinda just a coin flip. So we don't know, sorry, order. We don't know if they're gonna play for here or the center. I could go to 24 here. They did play for mid, so. Come down to the spin on the Wasp here. Close, close.
Victory.
I don't think Goose is that amazing right now. There's a lot of decks with stuff like Jeff and Doom to cheat their way into it. And Goose does not protect against Enchantress in the current environment. Hey, Sox fan, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. But it technically played in the wrong order there. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they put rocks in their deck before they did the thing, huh? That's a good shout. All right, expansion. Do me dirty. Or don't. I'd prefer if you didn't. Holy fuck, what a diff. Like, not only took our Cerebro bonus, but also just like fucked us in the bar with no name too. I'm gonna go Invisible Woman Cage. And then I'm gonna go Blue Marvel into Mystique and Storm. And they got one of the highest power cards in the game. That's actually the highest just raw power card in the game you can get, right? I guess Infinite is the only one that's more. Unfortunately, I'm not staying from their cube. Shout out to Nick for being a toxic press the button at the last possible second gamer. Please, please take your tryhardiness and fuck all the way off. Why waste all of our time? The snap is obviously fine, but like, why waste all my time down to the last minute? All right, we've lost Invisible Woman. Hobgoblin has been downgraded. Mystique has been upgraded. I think the opponent's snap should undo the end turn if you already pressed it. Yeah, Second Dinner also thinks it should undo the end turn if you've already pressed it. They've just communicated that they don't currently have the technology to make that happen. So, Second Dinner wants that. It's gonna be in the pipeline at some point.
Wind, aid my hand.
Mighty Big Hawk. Why isn't Luke Cage working in Spider-Woman? He does? Question mark? He does. One in 5 to draw Cerebro next turn, but unfortunately, we could get Rock Slid down to a 1 in 7. A Hobgoblin instead of Green Goblin. Just more stats. I don't know that I could do it. Don't know that I could do it. The Danger Room could murder their stuff. The Danger Room could murder their stuff. The Danger Room could murder their stuff. I'll stay for a cube. You may have 1 extra cube through a house if you can survive the Danger Room. Will spew a cube if you are average lucky. They are, in fact, average lucky. If we'd appealed the Cerebro. Fury's Lab, not bad with Hobgoblin here. That was the last deck we were playing. Yeah, that deck is in contention for being one of the best decks in the current format. It's very reasonable. Wolverine Avatar. Not a Galactus gamer. Fresh Jeff gamer. Formats and other jargon to say like metagame. In other card games, they have multiple formats, meaning multiple sets of cards that are legal. So there's a little bit of a different meaning there, but inside of Marvel Snap, it just means the current metagame. Is this a Cerebro game? Not be. Why do you think more tournaments haven't popped up? No spectator mode. I know Arena's tournaments layouts are super ugly, but I think they'll be interested in an actual competitive scene. I think there aren't more tournaments because competitive players essentially always heavily overestimate how much interest there is in having a competitive scene. I think casual stuff is far more popular in card games than competitive, and competitive players often think they are way more important and popular than they actually are. There isn't more dedicated to competitive Marvel Snap because there's just probably not a lot of interest in competitive Marvel Snap. Dead most of the time here again.
Opponent snapped.
Yeah, was maybe gonna gift you one extra cube, bud.
Escape.
The fuck out of here. You think I'm gonna give you 3? That was me. It was me talking myself into giving you an extra cube. I don't think the Thanos Black Bolt Stature deck seems very good. I think it's worse than the other Stature Black Bolt Darkhawk deck that's been going around. And for people that are new to Marvel Snap, the reason why it's incredibly wrong to snap on the last turn like that is because your opponent, some of the time, might have been willing to limp in and give you one more cube. However, like in that last game, 100% of the time, I'm leaving if they raise the stakes. So, unless their hand is so atrocious they think they're losing most of the time, in which case it's a fine bluff. But most of the time when people snap like that, they're snapping because they think they're winning, and they're actually costing themselves cubes by snapping like that. Yeah, maybe sometimes you have a quest that says, you know, make your opponent retreat or whatever. But outside of that, if you're looking to just minimize and maximize cube rate, snapping on the last turn is a huge net negative cube rate. All right, we're looking to draw a Goblin here. They're an archetype that's actually improved by Thanos. I think the Daredevil Professor X Thanos deck is pretty solid. The Iceman is swole. Yeah. Yeah, the decision to turn off pools-based matchmaking inside of Infinite was interesting. I feel like they should probably like loosen the reins on the pool-based matchmaking before they get to Infinite. I think the Daredevil Thanos deck should still play Valkyrie and sure it was nerfed. No, probably not. Man, sort of won the game on the spot last turn, but I think we're just dead now, right? Are we? They go +10 here and +10 here. They end up at 22 and 22. Mystique here and here is going to give me... These will be 6 for 18. This will be 2 for 20, so it's not enough. Yeah, we're definitely dead at the blue. I was counting if we could beat a not blue Marvel play. We cannot, so we need to leave. It would be +3. That's still not enough though, right? It's only 21 to 22. Chat, if I'm counting something slightly wrong and that counting wrong doesn't change the conclusion, just be like Elsa and let it go, okay? I'm not filling here because they have Mojo, for those wondering.
Clear for takeoff.
It's fine, we're gonna be dead to Dr. Doom either way, right? Yeah, good chance to our Jeff deck as well. Moon Girl. What happens if they go Jeff? They end up at 5, 11 here, 19, and this is... It's only +12, right? I'll give him a cube. I guess you should have filled. I think that's a bad take. You can't look back on a decision like this with hindsight and say I should have made a different decision based on what my opponent did. It's called results-based thinking. It's going to lose you way more games than it's going to win you. What you should look back on your decision and say, should I have made a different decision with the information that I had at the time? To which I think the answer is probably no. I hate the idea of trying... Someone had a chance that what if we tried to lower the curve? I don't hate that idea. Hey, Kedix, thanks for the 4 years. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Ace pick something. Thank you for the third of a year, by the way. I think I still want a goblin for Galactus. But yeah, what if we did this? Just like cut a 5-drop and was lower to the ground. Deck needs more tempo, something like that. You want to play Yellow Jacket. Now that's actually kind of cooking with gas. Talk about generating tempo potentially. Yellow Jacket is interesting. It's not a Cerebro game. What do you cut? I have no idea. You could play Shang-Chi plus Yellow Jacket. Stop it. You've gone too deep.
Wind, aid my hand.
What are your thoughts on the new Lockjaw 2 Cerebro deck? Doesn't exist. You can't just make things up. Saw on Reddit. Your post is kind of deep, but I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout for browsing Reddit. You need to learn that there's negative reinforcement associated with browsing that place. Rots your fucking brain. Alright, I'm going to go Invisible Woman into Mystique and then slide Nightcrawler over. So we all get the bonuses here. And then putting Mystique under the Invisible Woman means if I draw Blue Marvel next turn, I can go Blue Marvel and then Mystique copies the Blue Marvel.
Opponent snapped.
They Professor X, that I'm dead and I'm leaving. Enjoy your cube, Boomer.
Escaped.
Yes, they see you move, Nightcrawler. I think Buff Collector is probably pretty reasonable. I just also really want to play Buff Collector with Kitty, so... beast bouncing? Good.
Wind, aid my hand.
We're just dead to the past, right? This puts us to 20, they're going to 30.
Escaped.
This land can never be fully known.
Snap.
I think this is better for us than it is for them. Like, especially because I don't have, like, Cerebro or anything in my hand yet. So, like, we're going to be passing them, like, pretty mediocre cards. Oh, fuck. They're not. I've made a huge mistake.
Opponent snapped. Escaped.
Yeah, I thought they were Mr. Negative. When we drew the magic. They were playing Cerebro 3. Alright. I think I'm over Cerebro for now. For people that want a TLDR, I don't really have any strong opinions on the specific details like this. I think I'm generally a fan of Hobgoblin. Luke Cage is definitely an upgrade, but it doesn't solve all of the archetypes problems by any means, so. I think if you liked this deck before, Cage makes it a little bit better. If you don't, if you weren't into it before, it doesn't feel like it's worth recommending based on pure power level. I don't know that I want to do Orca yet. I think most of the Orca decks we could work on are probably a huge spew. We did like a Honest Collector deck. Hey, Maverick. Thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Would Luke preventing power up and down changes BOP? I mean, if it's not the opponent's side, maybe. I don't know. Would Collector be a better slot to discard decks? I mean, we could just play the discard Collector deck. Like again, for people that haven't followed the content too closely, this is a deck I've played and featured a number of times. Yeah. Actually, let's just play a few games with this to close things out. I think this deck is good and powerful. And I'll work on it. I don't think I have the mental capacity to sit in the deck editor right now. Stew on that tonight. We'll play some new collector stuff tomorrow. All right, nobody gets to play in the Plunder Castle. Juggernaut for line. Thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. Yeah, this deck regularly puts Collector and Mystique. In reality, this isn't really the type of deck that they were trying to make better by pumping Collector by 1 point. Like, this deck already goes huge over the top on things. The type of deck that the Collector change is trying to improve is like the Agent Coulson style Collector decks that are like using it as like a good on-rate 2-drop. They're like, obviously, this deck's happy to have its Collectors be marginally better. Go left! This incredibly skill-based game we play. Now the tricky part here is we're dead to a Hobgoblin. Okay, there's a Modockerson. We just need to draw Apocalypse or Swarm. We just need to draw Apocalypse or Swarm. Swarm would be ideal, but would settle for Apocalypse. Helicarrier, we actually, if we draw Kang, we get a redraw at any of the other 3. Helicarrier might be worth staying in for too, actually. It'll make the Collectors +3, and it'll make the Morbius's 12. And Gambit's gonna get to murder some stuff. Swarm! Swarm! Great, now we're 1 and 3 to draw Swarm. This is why Kang is in this deck, by the way. Kang not only lets us look to see when they're gonna fuck with Wong, but Kang makes our turns 5 and 6 more likely to find our combo pieces that need to come together. You can replace Kang with something like Agent Coulson if you're missing him, but having access to him does increase the consistency of the deck that we're playing. Hey, thanks for lurking for third of a year, Asian Invasion. Appreciate that. 1 and 3 to be super excited. 1 in 3 to be mid-leg, 1 in 3 to be like, okay. We already snapped chat. Yeah, I can't snap again. They took the whole time and now they have to do it again. Okay, so they're plus 22, plus 22, and plus 24. And I get to kill 2 things at random. Just helicarrier. This is plus 12 here and here, and here, and then it's plus 5 here and here. Trust in the gambit, chat. Trust in the gambit. I believe. I believe. We hit the worst of the cards we could draw. We needed helicarrier to give us helicarrier, chat. So close. So close. Yeah, helicarrier needed to give us swarm or apocalypse or helicarrier. You did both Cerebros with Druid. I think we only needed to hit 1 Cerebro there to win the game. We were 1 in 12. We were 2 in 12. We were 1 in 6 and then 2 in 11. It's actually a pretty decent shot to get him there. Why can't you play this deck because of Enchantress? Can you explain? I don't understand. You have plenty of other ways to put stats into play. They're like, they tag your Morbius or they tag your Wong, but they don't tag both. You take your Morbius and you spread him out when you have multiple. So we'll put 1 Morbius here and we'll put 1 Morbius here. Here's Mo Dockerson. We're hoping to draw a Swarm or Helicarrier next turn. Ooh, that's actually potentially bad for us. Now they're grouped up for Enchantress. All right, Rocket Butt. Bounce. For the 75 months since Indium, appreciate that. 75, the number of balls in the standard game of bingo in the United States. Oh gosh. How many balls are in games of bingo in other countries? Well, I need to boost my Helicarrier. I didn't realize we had boosters for it. Must have ran out of credits. Do I like Star Wars? I think Star Wars is fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the next generation stuff, but the original things are reasonable. Not here to yum yuck other people that are into it, though.
I am
Rulig, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. We're no stranger to ego. You know the rules, and so do I. We wouldn't snap it for any other guy. Ego doesn't know what he's doing. He's gonna play some cards. Do 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 do. Our deck's probably much worse into ego than the average Marvel Snap deck, so I hope everybody appreciates the cubes I'm throwing away here for the sake of it. I mean, buying Kang is technically strictly optimal. It's a card that costs 6,000 tokens that will never get cheaper.
Escaped.
It's our second ego game in 5 hours today, by the way. Extra high rate. Okay. Steampunk helicarriers. There's actually not a lot of helicarrier variants, right? Not my short list of cards that I don't have variants for. The discard deck seems to have all the pieces to do the things it wants. What do you feel it's like? I mean, the variations of the discard deck have pretty good stats on Untapped, so I'm not sure what you mean by it. What do you think they're lacking? The Kitty Pride is supposed to be returned to players with the free copy when the patch happens this month. Is this a snap? Yeah, probably. It's always a little risky snapping when I've got, when you're trying to Wong, but I think our hand's relatively strong. Dan Hip. That's fine. Steampunk's kind of sweet. I'm not a huge fan of Dan Hip stuff in general. Just style of artwork doesn't really jive with me. You've played with Kitty and Gamora. By Gamora, do you mean Nebula? New season pass card? Because they're just kind of different cards. Kitty's synergy card. Nebula is just kind of a generically good stuff card. Yeah, there's a couple of pieces of Hip's artwork that I like. Yeah, I like these, but they're very hit or miss for me. Well, Collector will be nice and big if we find Modakerson. Swarm with Colleen would also be fine. If we find a Swarm, we could go Wong on 4 into Mystique Colleen on 5. With this meta, I feel like the May patch will be the least needed in a long time. Yeah, even, am I wonging? Yeah, I guess I'd just be resource efficient. Even the over-the-air update today. The over-the-air update today was great. I liked that they gave us small changes, but it's definitely the first balance change we've had to Marvel Snap in, gosh, maybe ever, where I wasn't just like counting down the days until the balance patch happened. We're just like, yes, there's a balance patch coming, and that's sweet, but it's not like I need this balance patch or I'm pulling my hair out, which is nice. It's nice to just have small iterative change, even if it doesn't feel like things are terrible. The kids have enjoyed the Prime Playground Moose. Thanks for 37 months. Haley does the big slide now. Unfortunately, Gambit is not good because of Wakanda. Too often, people try... I think Nebula versus Kitty is people trying to force a comparison between two things that shouldn't have a comparison force between them. Joke's on you. I didn't draw Modok anyways. Hey, Vita B. Thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. If I'm being honest, JVL, as they've added more cards like Stature to be playable that get around Wave, I don't know that my feelings about how offensive Wave is with cost reduction still hold true. Our Morbiuses are only going to 8, right? I think we're dead regardless of what Gambit does here. You tried. You tried, lad. You tried. You got us a tie on the left. All right, folks, it's after 4 o'clock here. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. I appreciate everybody that hung out through the end of the stream. I know I started late today, but I'll be back tomorrow morning for my normal 9 a.m.-ish Central start. So hopefully we'll see you back again over there. We'll have highlights from the best of the Cerebro 2 games that we played up on the Hoaglandia staff channel tomorrow morning. If you missed it, chat, my balance patch review video as of right now has how many likes on it? We currently have 985 likes. There are currently 2,057 of you here. That means there's over 1,000 of you that haven't stumbled on over and smashed that like button like you're boomer snapping when you're far ahead on the last turn. Do it. I know you can. I believe in you. Who are we raiding on the sign off? Binks is streaming. Let's send you over his way, chat. Be kind.